If you're here, you're probably looking for answers and you're wondering, life isn't really fair. It's not the way I thought things would happen in this world. There's a mother that takes care of her child. For the whole life, the child just leaves the mother. There's a brat who commits a crime and gets away with it, scot free. And there's a person who probably doesn't even commit a big crime. They're caught and they are penalized, and the penalty is very heavy. It's like everyone is breaking the law, but somehow you're the one that gets caught. I'm sure the phrase life isn't fair is used in so many other contexts. For example, I'm getting bullied in school and I feel this is not fair. How come the person that's bullying me doesn't get penalized? How come they always get away? How come the teachers also somehow end up siding with them? Or for example, that one person at work who just isn't good enough, but that person crosses you or your friends over for a promotion and you just don't get it. How come some people have everything working for them and then there's other people who just run out of luck all the time? And then there's those nuances. There's either a person that is so pampered they just don't know how to deal with life, and so they would also believe life is not fair, or just losing a loved one and this person was such a good person they should not have left the world. So if I were to summarize, I'd say all of these things point to one thing, which is your dissatisfaction with the current situation that you're in. Now, there's an important point. Do you really know all the variables in the equation? Which means maybe you feel life is unfair from the angle you're looking at things, but maybe not from the angle of the other person, and maybe not from the angle of a third person watching both of you. So you really don't have all the variables figured out in an equation, and therefore you might be feeling that as per your understanding, life is unfair. Now, I don't know if anyone has ever claimed that life is fair. If someone has told you that, I think that's the wrong information. I don't think anyone should even say life is fair. So just to begin with, if you're clear that life is not fair, what are you worried about? What are you crying about? What's bothering you? You should be okay. You should understand that life is not fair. Now, how you're going to deal with it? I think there is 3 mentalities of how you're going to choose to deal with a state of life is unfair. So the first way of dealing with life isn't fair is that you decide to play a victim. A victim would be a person that is limited. They're always questioning, why are things happening to them? What was their fault? Did they really deserve what is happening to them? So on and so forth. The underlying belief is the lion should not eat me because I didn't eat the lion. It doesn't work that way. So basically, in this kind of a person, their thoughts really do control their actions, but they are mostly experiencing the things that the world is offering to them. So they are mostly reactive. Now, the second kind of a person is a survivor. This is a person that, although they are living in the present versus a person which is a victim who's living in the past and somehow living in their thoughts, this is a person that's living in the present, but they're also limited in some way. They don't want to do anything about it. They're of the mentality that I'll wait for the rain to finish to see the rainbow. So while they are living in the present, they're not going to do anything about it, but they are going to weather the storm. They are going to last through whatever is happening. They're a survivor because they will be able to survive everything that is happening to them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they will be enjoying it, that they will be able to deal with it. That just means they will survive something that is happening. Now, the third kind of a person is what we call a fighter or a warrior. This is a person that has a strategy, a well thought plan of how to deal with what is happening. They are deliberate in their actions. They are very much focused on what they want to do. While they are living in the present, they are also guided by a vision or an understanding of the future. It's very different from a person that is a survivor, that's in the moment, but not really able to do anything about it. This person is doing something about it. This is a person that is shaping circumstances, changing things, asking the question, how can I make a difference? Versus what's happening to me, I just have to bear. I just have to survive in these circumstances. Or a victim who's saying, why is this even happening to me? So now that you are clear that life isn't fair, there's a couple of ways to deal with it. And you have to decide either you're going to be a victim, a survivor, or a fighter and a warrior. How are you going to change the game? Are you going to deliberately start taking your unfair advantage to your benefit? What are the things that are stacked in your favor? Are there any things that are happening which put you at an advantage and then therefore you need to act differently? For example, are there any connections that you know? Do you have a lot of money on your side? Do you know a problem that needs to be solved in this world and you have an understanding of how that can be done. And if you are onto any of these things, then you possibly are also sitting on an unfair advantage. And this unfair advantage is going to put you in a place where you can also succeed. You know, when people say that I'm pursuing my passion and what I'm doing is now not really work for me and I'm really enjoying it, what are you going to do about it? What are the steps you're going to do to change your current circumstances? Let me know. What do you think? I'm back after a long time. Let me know what you think of this video. I've tried to make it shorter. I've tried to limit things to 3 points. Do give me feedback. Looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you and bye-bye.